This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines, and this is The Voice. I was called over to Ware County. Many people know this place as Waycross because it's across the way. We're standing in front of the Ware County Sheriff's Office and the county jail. I was called over here, and I have spoken with the President and CEO of Justice League United, also a young lady who said she had problems not with the local city police but with the county sheriff's department. As you know, the Black Lawyers for Justice have filed a $12.5 million lawsuit against the city. And the Ghetto Free Press believes that, much like the mayors across the state of Georgia, black mayors that is, that eventually, if this state does not clean up their act and become more fair to all citizens, it just may break many of these cities and counties across the state of Georgia. Here in front of me I have Mr. Bobby Worthy. Could you state your name for me, my brother?
Bobby Worthy, President and CEO of the Justice League United, and also local minister of law and justice for the new Black Panther Party and investigator for the Black Lawyers of Justice.
Why did you call me over here this morning, my brother?
Well, a young lady called me last night, late last night, said she had just got out of the Ware County Jail for a 48-hour probation hold on her, and she experienced her menstrual cycle came in while she was incarcerated, and she called to the guard several times to tell them that she needed pads for her menstrual cycle, as she had blood all over her uniform. After an hour or so went by, she called and never did come. Finally, they came to the dorm, outside the dormitory, out in the hallways, and she called to them and asked them, could she get some damn pads because she was bleeding. The sergeant, John Nix, I guess did not like her tone of voice or somewhat, went inside and told her, with another officer, and told her to shut her fucking mouth. He repeated this several times when he came, and then he came inflamed with rage, some kind of rage. Something came over him that he balled his fist up and drew his hand back like he was going to punch her in the face. She then told him, said, wow, are you going to punch me in my face for just asking for pads? He then grabbed her by the throat and threw her to the ground and proceeded to be choking her. Her roommate told her he needed to stop because he was going to hurt her. She felt threatened. She felt her life was in danger. So she went today. I took her today to take out a criminal warrant on the officer for a simple assault in violation of his oath of office. Also, we filed complaints with the sheriff himself. The sheriff did contact me and said that they will be looking into it. Sheriff Randy Robert, they will be looking into this incident and find out what was going on.
So the young lady's name is Monica Boyd. Is there any witnesses in this situation? Too often I've noticed, as a civil rights leader and former president of NAACP, I've been doing this since '75, and often people seem to get it wrong, and so my question is, did she have any witnesses?
Yes, she has a witness, her roommate, and hopefully we have the cameras as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to review the cameras. I'm going to ask myself to see the cameras as well, because the cameras know they don't see inside the room, but they are on the outside pointing toward the room, looking into the cell blocks. So hopefully the camera caught this, but we'll hopefully and soon find out all that real soon.
Okay, once again, I want to thank you for the work that you do in the community. However, I have a question for you. You always seem to call and you always seem to provide documentation. So using that documentation that you gave me today, I have a question for you. I want to answer a couple questions for you. Number one, who is this guy called Attorney Malik Shabazz? Who is that?
Well, Attorney Malik Shabazz is the national president for the Black Lawyers of Justice, as you spoke of, the $12.5 million lawsuit. His vice president, which Attorney Reginald Green with the Green Law Group, is his vice president, came down and just filed a $12.5 million lawsuit against the city of Waycross Police Department for racial profiling. And Dr. Malik is the national president, and also he is the one, the attorney that we call the People's Attorney General, that in Ferguson, Missouri, where he marched down the street with us in the road, in the rain, and this is why we call him the People's Attorney General. He's the one that filed the $60 million lawsuit for the citizens of Ferguson.
If Jesus returned today, what pastor do you think would stand out for civil, human, and religious rights here in Waycross?
Reverend Pharrell Malone.
What kind of man is that Malone guy?
Reverend Malone is a true man of God. He's not only a true man of God, he's a leader in the community. He is a follower as well as a leader. He is a true man of God, in my opinion. He fights from the pulpit and from the streets. He is a pastor of the people. He is definitely one pastor that I have highly respect for. And if he asked me, I would follow him to the gates of hell.
Now, I also understand that Justice League United, you also work with other civil and human rights organizations. Do you know anything about Minister Farrakhan? Do you ever let him know about what goes on with some of the problems that you highlight here in the state of Georgia?
Well, we have, but you know, it's in Dr. Malik Shabazz is the direct contact with Minister Farrakhan, and I'm pretty sure he has let Minister Farrakhan know this, but it's kind of hard to address every issue in every state, to go every place. There's so many police brutalities going on around the country, so many stop and frisk. I mean, from New York to Miami to North Carolina, everywhere. It's just hard for everyone, you know, to get involved. I work with the NAACP, the ACLC. I have filed complaints with the ACLU as well. But you know, these people get numerous complaints. So
the reason I asked you about Minister Farrakhan is because I see you got Clayton Nelson, the Nation of Islam. That's the reason I asked you about Minister Farrakhan.
Yes.
Anybody that wears the nation, I figured they would have to go through the minister.
Yes.
Another one you have here is Larry Lockett. Who is Larry Lockett?
Larry Lockett is a good friend of mine, the district coordinator for the NAACP and the local chapter, Waycross chapter president for the NAACP.
You also got a copy to Randy Royals, and he's the sheriff, and I guess you just met with him.
Yes, Randy Royals, the sheriff,
okay.
Yes.
And the last one, I see you got something called the Get to Free Press.
The Get to Free Press, yeah, that's George Boston Rhines, the one and only true ghetto press that shows that will teach you and show you everything you need to know. Not only will you be informed, you will learn some things as well. Okay, in closing, what's your closing remarks for the Sheriff Department and Ware County in general, since the Black Lawyers for Justice has come down? I personally heard Attorney Green say that if things don't change, that a lot of these cities could be sued as well as go broke, forcing them to do what they ought to know is right to do. So what's your response to that? Well, I've known Sheriff Royal since I met him to be an honorable man. I've known him to take care of business like he's supposed to. So if this happened, I was not there. We hoping if this happened that he will step up and take the initiative to make sure this officer, this jailer, is punished. I am definitely going to do what I need to do to make sure he punished, and I definitely will be turning this over to Dr. Malik Shabazz, the Black Lawyers for Justice. Okay, once again, my beautiful brother, I want to thank you, and I wish you all the success in the world over here in Ware County. You know that when you call me, I don't get paid for this. You do know that, don't you? Yes, sir. You do know I don't get gas money, right? Yes, sir. It don't matter. We got to do something. Peace be unto you, my beautiful brother. And I want to say to you, keep doing the work, my brother. Peace. And that's Bobby Worthy. Bye-bye. We go. The Voice.